Hello, creative friends, and welcome to the Stampin' Squad. My name is Cheryl Dorsey. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Southern California, and today is Monday, January 26th, 2026. So I just want to start by saying thank you for being here today. I appreciate you. If you're watching live, or even if you're watching the replay, let me know where you're watching from. I always find that so interesting to see where everybody is. So today I'm going to make a Slimline card for you. But before I get started on that, I wanted to just share something with you for a few minutes. Oh, Carla, it says I'm breaking up. So I'm just going to talk. I'm just going to keep talking and tell me if it's getting any better or not. Because if it's not getting better, I'm going to take my AirPods out. So, Carla or anybody else, tell me if the sound is getting any better or not, because I'm happy to take out these AirPods if we need to do that. It seems to be okay. Good. Maybe I just wasn't talking strongly enough. Okay. As I said, I'm going to show you how to make a slimline card today. I don't think I've ever done a video for you for a slimline card, so that'll be a fun thing to do for something different. But before I get started with that, I just wanted to share something with you. Yesterday, I thought I might need to postpone our live today because, in all honesty, I was not feeling great. I was anxious and I was sad and I was just really kind of actually struggling. And I knew that I needed to do something to take care of myself. So I went and met some friends at a coffee shop, and we all brought our paper pumpkin kits and we put together our February cards. And so that was lovely. And that definitely made me feel a little bit brighter, a little bit better. And also for the last few days, I've been working on, taking care of myself, doing some breath work and some meditation and some prayer, and spending a little bit of time with my dog, lighting a candle. I have lots of different practices that I like to do. And those things are definitely helping. So this morning, I decided, yes, I'm gonna do the next needed thing, and I'm going to do the live today. This morning, I did take some time and make some phone calls and check a few things off of my list of things that I wanted to do. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm thinking maybe there's someone else who might be going through a tough time or just have something going on that's making you have some negative emotions. So I want to encourage you to take care of yourself. So if you are struggling in any way, please take some time to take care of yourself. That's going to look different for everybody. Yesterday for me, it was crafting and spending some time with people I love. So that was something that helped me a lot. And then I would say, after you take care of yourself, maybe you would be ready to do the next right thing, whatever that is for you. I mean, that might be checking on a neighbor or dropping off food at a food pantry. You might want to call somebody, like a friend or a family member. We're having terrible weather in the United States right now. And so maybe you want to call and chat with somebody, talk to somebody who's in one of those areas where the weather is really brutal. Maybe you want to create a card and mail it to someone. So I just wanted to give you some encouragement and tell you none of us, not one of us, can solve everything. can fix everything that's broken. But I think that each one of us can do one thing. All right. So my words for you today are take care of yourself first, and then think about what might be the next needed thing for you to do. Okay. That's all about that. Now let's talk about making a slimline card. So I already got some things prepped for you here. Oh, let me just point this out. Most of you have seen this before. This is my website address. So pop in there and you'll see some stuff about me. You'll see a lot of my projects. You can shop there. All the things are over there. All right, I'm starting with a piece of lemon lolly cardstock. And, I usually use my little silver metal ruler. I can't find it. I mean, how do you lose a 12-inch ruler? But I did. I don't know where it is. Maybe it will turn up. So I have this plastic one. This piece is 7.5 inches wide, and I've already scored it at 3 3/4, right there in the middle. Then it is 9 1/4 inches long. So that is my card base. Now, I've got a couple other pieces here. I've got a piece of basic white that is 3.5 by 9 inches. And I have a piece of cloud cover that's the same size as that piece of white. It is 3.5 by 9. I've got a strip of basic white that is 1 inch wide and 4 3/4 inches long. Then I've got 8 strips of designer series paper, and each one of these strips is 1 inch wide by 3 1/4 inches long. The designer series paper that I'm using today is, hold on, I gotta look, the Florals in Bloom. Florals in Bloom. It's so bright and cheerful. I love it. Okay, let's start with a little bit of stamping. Let's start with a little stamping. So this is going to be the inside of my card. And today I'm going to use on this first card, because I got 2 versions for you today. But on the first one, I'm going to be using the Sweet Blooms stamp set. And then I'm also going to use these dies. Hold on. The Pretty Florals dies. So that's what I'm going to use for card number 1. I want to stamp something here for the inside of my card. So I'm going to start with Shy Shamrock ink. And I'm going to stamp stem and leaves here on the inside of my card. There we go. And now I'm going to switch over to Timid Tiger. Let's get the Timid Tiger open. And we'll put some flowers here. Okay, I'm going to get myself over the top of this so I can see where I'm going. I think that's probably fairly close. There we go. It looks like the flowers belong with the stems. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and fold and burnish my card base. And then adhere this on the inside of my card. In a minute, I'm going to pop over there to the comments and see who's here. I know Carla's here. But let's see who else is here and what you guys are up to. And if you live somewhere where that weather is bad, I'm thinking about you. I hope you're doing okay. There we go. Now I'm going to take this piece of cloud cover and I'm going to adhere all these strips, all these mini strips on here. So I'm just going to start doing that. It'll only take a minute here. There we go. We made this card at my stamp club last Monday. And the ladies liked it. So I thought you might like it too. I had fun making it. I mean, I've made a slimline card before for myself, but it's been a long time. It's been a long time. And I wanted to use up some designer series paper. And this seemed like a good way to do that. Because I had a lot of bits and bobs left of this paper. So it was easy to just get these little pieces out of my scraps. Okay, so I've got 4. Now I'm going to start at the other end and kind of meet in the middle. Because I didn't measure across here and or make tick marks or anything. I'm just eyeballing it. And I don't think anybody would be able to tell if I'm a little smidge closer or further apart with my strips. There's a lot to look at on this card. All right, we've got 2 more. Let me just see how that's going to fit. Okie dokie, that looks good. Let's get these secured. I love this paper. I mean, there's so many beautiful colors in it. Very bright, very cheerful. Okay, last piece. There we go. Okay, now this is going to go on the front of the card. So let's go ahead, put that on. And then we'll work on the sentiment and the little decorations. And when we get finished with the card, we'll talk about an envelope. Let me scooch that around just a little bit. And I'm going to flip it over and press. That way I know I'm not going to dislodge any of my little pieces on the front. Okay, so I can set that aside now. I want to stamp my sentiment, and I'm using one that says, "You make me smile." So I'm going to grab my Secret C ink. Ink this one up. And I'm going to put it kind of close to this end down here. There, so it's shifted kind of over to the left end of that strip. Now, I'm going to pull out an old punch. This is a banner punch. It's retired, long since retired, I think. And I'm going to use it to create some little banner ends on my strips here. Let me feed this down in here. I always like to flip it over and look and make sure that I have it straight in here. It's even. There we go. And now the other end, you can also scissor cut your banner ends if you don't have a punch. So again, let's see if we'll get this one in the center. There we go. I like the way it pops out of there and hits me. Okay. All righty. There we go. So that's nice. Now, I have done a little bit of work ahead of time. And I used these dies, this, and this. And I was using Timid Tiger and Shy Shamrock. Timid Tiger, Shy Shamrock. Those are the two colors that I wanted to use for my flowers and my stems. So here we go. Here's the die cuts. Now I want to fancy it up just a little bit. So I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper and bring these little pieces over here on top. And I'm going to use my Stampin' Blend. This one is the dark Timid Tiger. And I'm going to color these two small pieces that go at the base of the flowers, because I want a contrast between those and the petals. Whoops. Turn that around. There we are. And this one. Just color that in. There we go. I think that'll make a nice contrast. Oh, and before I put my Stampin' Blend away, I am going to kind of trace over the little details that the dies put in these petals. And I'm just, kind of being rough about it, okay? Because I just want to create a little bit of, I guess, a little bit of depth by putting this darker color in there. Makes it not look quite so flat. Okay, got that. Now, why not add, let me see if I can find it. I was going to add some Wink of Stella, just for fun. So I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and I'm just going to kind of go over those same little lines. And just put some of this on here. Makes my flower a little sparkly, a little blingy. There we go. Where's my lid? There it is. Okay, now I need to put these together. So I'm going to grab my reverse tweezers. So I like using those when I'm sticking together kind of some small pieces. That way things don't get stuck on my fingers when I'm using the glue. So just a little glue right there at the base. And this one actually goes on this flower. There we go. I can scooch it around a little bit. And then I'm just going to press and hold it for just a moment so that glue has a chance to set a little bit. So those two pieces will stay together. Now let's do the same with this one. Little glue right here at the bottom. Does not take much of that Tombow glue. It's very strong. I'm going to put that down and I'm going to scoot just a little bit. There we go. And hold it for a moment. Okay. I think we're good there. Now, I'm going to build my focal image here. Oops. So I'm going to take this and I'm actually going to cut part of it off because I don't need to see all of that. So I'm just going to cut that bottom part away. And I want to put this maybe about here. So I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on this flower. That's not a flower. It's a leaf. On this leaf and on this leaf near the bottom. And that's going to hold it on my white cardstock. A little glue here and a little bit there. That will work. Now, just going to put this right here. These colors are so bright and fun. I feel like I haven't used Shy Shamrock very much, but it sure looks good on this card. Now, this one, I'm going to put just a little bit on the base here. And let's put it right here. Hold it. There, and now this one's going to go on like right about here. So I'm going to put some glue along the top. And we'll get that one in place. I love this die set. It makes the most beautiful flowers. So let me hold that in place for just a second. And then I'm going to need some dimensionals because I want to pop up this whole thing on the front of my card. So I got a brand new sheet of dimensionals. Let's put some of these on. Okay. This one I'm going to drop down a little bit further so it helps to support that flower. I'm going to do the same right here. And then I'm actually going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut a couple of little kind of skinny strips for those leaves because I do want to make sure that they're not going to get disturbed on my card. I don't want them, sometimes when you're putting things in the envelope or taking it out of the envelope, you don't want them to get caught on something and get damaged. It would be no fun. This looks like a little bit too thick, so I'm going to make it just a little skinnier. Okay. Let's put that on this one. Move it over a little. There we go. Okay. You know what? I think I want to put another one here because I feel like that's kind of blank right there. I want to fill it up. Okay, now let's peel the backing off of all of these. Maybe. There we go. And then we'll place this on our card. All right, we've got these two more little skinny ones. There we are. Now, I think I'm going to go be right about here. See if I can get it on there straight. There we are. Awesome. All right, I feel like maybe I'll put just one little tiny embellishment right there. So let me grab these. Love these. These are the end colors. So I'm just going to grab one of these Timid Tiger ones. And let's put that, when there's something on it. There we go. I'm going to put that right there. Just a little bling. Just a little bling. So there we have our first Slimline card. So let me come over and chat with you for a minute over in the live chat. So yes, Carla is here. I said hi to Carla earlier. I'm glad you're here, Carla. And Sharon is here. And Carol Ann is here. Awesome. Zana is here. Thank you, guys. The colors are nice, aren't they? They're really bright, especially here in the winter. Here we are in the middle of winter. We want bright colors. We want some sunshine. We want some bright colors. Hi, Marlene. Oh, and you guys are cold. A foot of snow, Carla. My goodness. And Carol Ann is in Missouri. I talked to my mother this morning. She is in Oklahoma. And it's very cold there, too. Hi, Nancy. I bet you're not under snow in Florida. Hopefully, you're not having snow and ice in Florida. And Mary. Hi, Mary. Welcome. Okay, awesome. So that is card number one. Now, let's do card number two. And it's the same but different. The same but different. Oh, you know what? I wanted to show you something. One more thing to go with that card. Let me bring it back. I wanted to show you envelope. So I had bought these envelopes on Amazon, and they're the kind that has the little flap here. So you just slide it in. So I like that style. But, oh, and it also has the little thing you just peel off and then you stick it down. So you don't have to lick it or make it wet to close it. So I like that too. However, if you look at this, the adhesive to make it close has kind of seeped through, I guess. It just discolored part of the envelope. And so I was not keen on that. So I've got a piece of that paper and I'm just going to adhere it to this flap. And then we're going to trim it. And then no one will ever know. No one will see this blemish on the flap of my envelope. My glue doesn't want to come out. There we go. So I'm just putting some on the flap here. Yeah, I like the envelopes. The paper is nice, but we can't have that. So let me put that on. Gonna slide that into place. I'm going to press it down, and then I'm just going to trim around the edges. Now, I do this also with my regular envelopes, the regular A2 size cards that I make. This is one of the ways I like to decorate envelopes. So now, super simple. Just grab your paper snips and just kind of follow the edge here. There we go. Aha. Now, now we have a nice envelope to put our card in. I really like that. Okay, now card number two. Let's do card number two. For this card, I'm using the Floral Impressions Designer Series paper. So let me grab that. I have a strip here. And for this one, I am using a white card base and a misty moonlight layer on the front of my card. So because my card base is white, I don't need to cut a piece of basic white to go on the inside. It's already white. So we're ready to go. So I thought I would just show you while I cut this, you could see what I'm up to here. So the other one, we used a variety of different patterns from the designer series paper. But I thought it might be fun to just use a strip and have kind of a continuous image running across the front of our card. So let's try that and see how we like it. So we need 1-inch strips. I've already cut this to be the right width. And now we just need our 1-inch strips. Well, let me hold it in place here. There we go. And let's see if I can keep them in order. I need 8. So we've got 2, 3. I'm going to take these and set them over here. 1, 2, 3. I'm anxious to see what this will look like using just the one pattern. I think it's going to look cute. We will find out. So that's 5, 6, 7. We need one more. And 8. So we've got this piece left over. Here we are. Now, let's go ahead and work on getting those on the front of our Misty Moonlight. Okay. So when I finish this one, I'll come over and check in with you over in the comments. So I'll put a few on this end, and then I'll jump over to the other end and meet in the middle again. It seems to work better for me to be able to make everything fit and be kind of spaced. That's the word I'm looking for. Kind of spaced evenly anyway. Oh, and I wanted to mention, I got the inspiration for this card from the catalog. I'll look in a minute and see if I've got an annual catalog sitting here, and I'll show you where I got my inspiration from. So it was a card that was similar to that first one we did, but there were some differences. Oops, this is one on this end. You were going to let me do that, weren't you? When I started to put it down, I was like, that doesn't look like that goes next to that. I guess you don't have a way of getting my attention and yelling, stop. That's not where it's supposed to go. Well, even if I had messed it up, I'm sure it still would have been pretty, right? Lots of flowers. There we go. Let's do this one. I did see someone making a comment in a group on Facebook that I am a member of, and they were talking about how they always are having difficulties with their cards buckling. And so the other folks who were commenting to help them and to answer their questions were saying too much glue. And I agree with that. I've seen that happen. If you put too much glue, then the paper and the cardstock becomes very wet. And then it wants to buckle. It doesn't want to stay nice and flat. So that is a good thing about this Tombow glue. It doesn't take very much because it's really strong. So you really don't have to put so much that it's going to cause your card to buckle. I like that. I really like that. It's like one big image, but it just split apart. I like the way that looks. Okay, let's put this on our card front. So for the first one, I was just using scraps. This one, I took a whole strip and then just cut it apart. So depending on what you've got in your paper stash, if you've got some large pieces or if you've got just a bunch of little small scraps, I'm going to turn it over and press it so I don't move anything accidentally on the other side. There we are. Bright and cheerful. Okay, now, good stamp on the inside, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to cut a little strip of it and put it on the inside. So I'm going to step over here and cut the strip. And I'll bring it back over. This is just a 1-inch strip. So I'm going to put that right in here. And then I'll just trim that off. All right, so let's get a little glue on that. Never want to waste anything, right? So let's put this, just sliding it right up against the fold in my card. There we are. And we want to trim this off. Awesome. There we go. That's pretty. Picks up this fresh freesia in my flowers. All right. So again, I've done some work ahead of time here. And I've got, so let me show you what I'm using. Hold on. So for this one, I'm going to use that same, no, I'm not actually. I started to say I'm going to use the same sentiment, but I'm not. I picked out something else. The sentiment that I'm going to use for this one is from this stamp set, Sweetly Scripted. And I'm going to use the happy birthday. I needed a birthday card. So I pulled this out and I'm going to use that. And then I already did some die cutting to make a flower. And here's my flower. And here is my greenery, right? My leaves and stems. And here is my sentiment. So same thing here. Strip of basic white. I stamped my sentiment. I used my punch to create the banner ends. And now this is from the Impressions of Bloom dies. So I used these two dies together. And this lighter color is Pretty in Pink. And then I used just the outside die. No, I used them both together again and did the lower on the back here. That layer is Strawberry Slush. So Pretty in Pink and Strawberry Slush. And the center is Daffodil Delight. So that's what I did there. The same idea, I just used my Strawberry Slush Stampin' Blend and added some color. And then I added some Wink of Stella. And now this is this right here. So I cut two of those and I cut them out of Garden Green, because those are the colors that are in this paper. So let's build our focal image, and feel like I can definitely cut some of this off. I don't think I need all of that. Let's see, let's do a little dry fitting. That, like that. That seems like that'll work. Okay, so let me move this and put a little bit of glue back here. Okay. Let's put this down. And I'll hold it just a second. So my layers here are kind of thick because I've got two layers of cardstock with my greenery on a piece of cardstock. And now I've got two layers of cardstock here. This is so cute. I really do love the dies from both of these die sets. All of it's from the annual catalog. So fun. Let's hold that together for a second. Holding, holding, holding. Okay, now we need dimensionals. Let's bring these back over. Put some on the back so we have a nice pop-up. And let's see. I'm going to cut some little strips again, I think. Actually, these are a little bit wider. So I think that I can just use this side. Maybe. Let's see if that will fit in there. Maybe, maybe. Yes, it does look like it will fit. All right, let's get one more. Put that in here. There we are. Put this over here, take that away. And we'll get this on the front of our card. I'm excited to see what the final product looks like. Okay. Let's put this on here. There we are. Happy birthday. And I don't know if it's showing up, but I put quite a bit of Wink Stella on there. So it is, it's very shimmery. It's very shimmery. And then we have our little detail inside. Okay, let me bring this other one back. So here, remember we did a lemon lolly card base. So put some white on the inside, did a little stamping. And then we die cut out our flowers and our leaves. We've got the same kind of banner on both cards. But as always, I always like to hear what you like the best. Like which one would you want to receive in the mail? And let me come over to the comment